Welcome to Daxon Recaps channel, and thanks for tuning in.
Luca!
Прекрати! Хорошего вечера.
The film opens with Lucas Hill, a seasoned diamond dealer, enjoying a quiet morning at home, sipping coffee in a moment of calm before his high-stakes business trip. Soon after, he is seen at an airport lounge, meticulously adjusting his wristwatch while his laptop plays a video. On the screen, a man named Piotr speaks excitedly, building up the anticipation for a lucrative diamond deal that promises to bring Lucas immense wealth. This transaction is set to take place in St. Petersburg, Russia, where Lucas is headed for what he hopes will be a seamless business arrangement involving a set of extremely rare blue diamonds. Upon his arrival at a luxurious hotel in the city, Lucas expects to find Piotr waiting for him. However, his plans take an unexpected turn when the receptionist, Riza, informs him that Piotr had left just an hour earlier. His sudden departure was not without cause. Law enforcement had been on the verge of raiding the hotel, forcing him to flee in haste. Riza, acting as Piotr's intermediary, hands Lucas a slip of paper containing a new address where he can find Piotr, a guest house located in a secluded area outside the city. She also provides him with an envelope containing cash, presumably meant to assist him with any immediate expenses. Concerned, Lucas attempts to call Piotr to discuss the situation, particularly in relation to Boris Volkov, the powerful figure who is supposed to purchase the diamonds. Unfortunately, Piotr does not answer, and Lucas is left with nothing but voicemail. The tension escalates when Boris Volkov himself arrives at the hotel, seeking a meeting with Lucas. Though outwardly composed, Lucas quickly reassures Boris that the diamonds will be ready for delivery within 2 days. In an attempt to smooth over any concerns about the delay, he even offers to hand over the entire shipment as a gesture of goodwill. However, Boris is no ordinary businessman. He is a well-connected figure within the Russian Mafia, a man not to be trifled with. His presence alone is enough to remind Lucas of the dangerous world he has stepped into. As the meeting concludes, Boris's brother, Pavel, shares a strange and seemingly unrelated anecdote about sweets, an offbeat moment that only adds to the underlying tension. Before leaving, Boris issues a subtle yet unmistakable warning to Lucas. South African competitors have arrived in town, indicating that the fight for the prized diamonds is far from over. With rival buyers in the mix and Piotr's sudden disappearance, Lucas realizes that his business deal has become much more complicated, and much more dangerous, than he had anticipated. Lucas returns to his hotel room, pulls out a stash of burner phones, and sets up a new one to leave another message for Piotr. He then embarks on a journey to a remote town in eastern Siberia, where Piotr was last seen. Upon arrival, there's no sign of Piotr. The guest house receptionist hands Lucas his room key and mentions that someone had called earlier. That caller turns out to be Vincent, a man who shares a mysterious past with Lucas. Although Boris Volkov doesn't fully trust Vincent, the man insists that Lucas owes him a favor and assures him he's a friend. While in town, Lucas stops at a small cafe, where he unintentionally gets caught up in an argument between some locals. The situation escalates quickly, and two men ambush him outside the cafe, knocking him to the ground, stealing his vodka, and leaving him in the snow. Fortunately, Katya, the cafe owner, finds Lucas and takes him back to her place to recover from the attack. The next morning, as a token of gratitude, Lucas prepares French toast. However, when Katya's brother, Ivan, walks in, he's less than thrilled to see an American in their home. Despite Ivan's cold demeanor, Katya appears interested in Lucas, even subtly hinting that she wouldn't mind if he stayed the night. Lucas hesitates, explaining that he needs to find Piotr. Katya eventually agrees to take him to the mine where her other brother, Andrei, works. Upon meeting Andrei, Lucas learns that Piotr has been involved in some shady dealings. Apparently, he sold a batch of fake diamonds to a dangerous ex-Spetsnaz gangster named Samsonov and his crew, people you don't want to double-cross. Later that night, Lucas joins Katya's brothers at a local bar. Initially skeptical of him, they eventually warm up after several drinks. One of them points out Anton, a man who was once supposed to marry Katya but for some reason, things didn't work out. Despite their initial reservations about Lucas, they end up bonding in an unexpectedly strange way, singing drunkenly together. Later that evening, Lucas video calls his wife, showing her the house he's staying in. When she asks if he's been drinking, he quickly changes the subject and ends the call. He then returns to Katya's place, where things take a romantic turn. They share a passionate kiss, and soon, they're making love right there in the kitchen. The next morning, Lucas joins Katya, her brothers, and Anton for a hunting trip. They tease him, treating him like an outsider, but things take a serious turn when their hunting dog starts barking wildly and runs off. When they chase after it, they come face to face with a massive bear. Panic ensues, shots are fired, and in the chaos, a stray bullet hits the dog. Seeing the animal suffering, Lucas makes the difficult choice to put it out of its misery. Later, he returns to Katya's home for another intimate moment. She shows him a picture of her family and asks him to stay longer, but Lucas explains that he has unfinished business in St. Petersburg. After spending time together in the bath, he prepares to leave. Ivan watches him go, clearly displeased by the situation. Back in St. Petersburg, Lucas checks in with Riza to see if Pyotr has returned, but there's no sign of him. She also informs him that Boris Volkov has been calling him several times a day. Frustrated, Lucas searches his hotel room for the missing diamonds but instead finds a gun and a blue candle, the same kind he saw at Katya's place. Curious, he breaks it open and discovers a diamond hidden inside. Realizing that Katya may unknowingly possess more of these, he immediately calls her, asking her to come to St. Petersburg with the candle. Meanwhile, Boris calls Lucas, demanding an update on the deal. Lucas stalls, saying he needs one more day and has a sample ready. They arrange to meet the next day. As he prepares, Lucas checks his gun and bullets. Vincent also calls, but unlike Boris, he isn't interested in the diamonds. He warns Lucas that he's attracting too much attention and that even the FSB, Russian security services, is watching him. Vincent urges Lucas to drop everything and return to the US. When Katya arrives in St. Petersburg, Lucas breaks open the candle she brought. Inside is another diamond, but upon testing, he realizes it's a fake, though an incredibly convincing one. Later, they share another intimate moment, during which Katya asks if diamonds can lose their color. Lucas explains that real diamonds remain unchanged. The next day, Lucas prepares for his meeting with Volkov, leaving Katya in the hotel with champagne. He hands Volkov the blue diamond he found, but the meeting takes an unexpected turn when Katya suddenly joins the gathering, turning it into a party filled with drugs and debauchery. During the night, Volkov expresses admiration for Lucas and offers a twisted deal. He wants them to exchange their women as a sign of brotherhood. Lucas initially refuses, but Volkov's anger forces him to comply. After this unsettling encounter, Lucas returns to his hotel room, only to find an FSB agent, Palison, waiting for him. Palison makes it clear that the FSB isn't after Lucas but wants him out of Russia immediately. However, before leaving, they need him to do a favor, hand over the fake diamonds to Volkov as leverage. Realizing Katya's safety is in their hands, Lucas has no choice but to agree. The FSB assures Katya that they'll send her home safely. Lucas takes the fake diamonds to Volkov, who calls an expert to inspect them. Thinking fast, Lucas deceives Volkov into believing they're genuine, and he dismisses the expert. Later, the FSB informs Lucas that he's free to go home, while Katya is sent back to her village, where Ivan picks her up at the airport. Before leaving Russia, Lucas receives a message from Andrei about Pyotr. It turns out that Pyotr has purchased land near the mine. Instead of catching his flight, Lucas heads to Ivan, seeking help. They spend one last night together before Ivan and his brothers drive Lucas to Pyotr's hideout. Inside the cabin, Lucas finds Andrei's dead body. Ivan urges Lucas to leave with him, but knowing there's no way out, he refuses. Understanding the danger, Ivan hands Lucas a hunting rifle and leaves. Lucas sets the cabin on fire, burning Andrei's body. Before he can escape, Volkov's men arrive, guns blazing. A firefight ensues, but Lucas is ultimately shot in the back by Pavel. As he lies dying in the snow, his final thoughts are of Katya, flashing through his mind one last time. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and put down your comments below to let me know what you think about this recap story. Give this video a thumbs up and share for others too to enjoy. And see you on my next recap. Bye for now.